The rise and fall of the 900 numbers, next on Retro Serial. If you're thinking about old 900 numbers, probably something comes to your mind like this.
Get close to your telephone. Let's face it, who can talk in a noisy bar? Tickle your fantasy with some stimulating conversation. I dare you to call.
The cost of the call is $4.99 per minute.
What would you like to talk about? Oh, it's private? There's no reason why you shouldn't call. I won't tell. Let's talk. Just pick up the phone. You must be 18 years or older, please.
You have a dirty mind. But if I'm being perfectly honest, whenever the subject of 900 numbers come up, that's the first place my mind goes as well. But it was much more than that. It was a platform, and like a lot of platforms, it attracted a lot of quote-unquote creators.
The party freak, Friday freaker, dancing new sensation, grabbing the nation, doing the freak. Call now, 1-900-490.
It had everything from psychic readings to getting your favorite recipes, all the way to celebrity gossip and news and contacting your favorite celebrities. Heck, even NASA got in on it on the early days. It was a booming industry. At the height of it was $3 billion in 1992. So this kind of leads us to ask the question, where did it all come from? How did it get started? And what happened to it if it was so successful? So we're going to be talking a little bit about the history of the 900 number. Before we get into today's content, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share it on your favorite social media. If you're interested in supporting the channel financially, there's a couple ways you can do that. They are in the description box below. Now, back to the program. When you think of 900 numbers, you probably don't think of Jimmy Carter, but quite honestly, that's where it all started. In 1977, Walter Cronkite held a live interview with the former president, and AT&T sponsored a call-in in which you could call and talk to the president, ask him questions through a 900 number. And the 900 number really acts as kind of a filtering system. I mean, obviously you can't just have anybody call the president, so they wanted to make sure that you were serious and they didn't want to jam up all their phone lines, and so they created this 900 number as kind of a special way to get in contact with the president. And in those early days, there was a few 900 numbers. As I said, even NASA got in on the action. But really the breakthrough happened in 1985. AT&T decided to share profits with those who secured a 900 number, and thus a platform, so to speak, was born. And just as that happened, the floodgates then opened up. I mean, now you could call Santa, you could get your future read from psychics, you could call your favorite celebrities, or you could call one of those adult 900 numbers. One of the earliest to get in on the action was Saturday Night Live. In 1985, there was a special in which Eddie Murphy was going to boil a lobster. The lobster's name was Larry. It was Larry the Lobster. I don't know if you remember this or not, but there was a 900 number. There were two of them, and one was to save the lobster, or one was to have Eddie Murphy boil the lobster. And the overwhelming response was to save the lobster, but they ignored it and went ahead and boiled the lobster anyway. As I already said, this was a billion-dollar industry by 1992. So what happened to it? Where did it all go? Where did it all go wrong? 900 numbers really had a few nails in its metaphorical coffin. In order to talk about the first one, we need to back up a little bit and talk about why they were so successful. One of the reasons for their success was the fact that it was like an invisible charge. When you called the 900 number, you didn't have to supply a credit card or anything like that. You just came up on your phone bill later. Maybe you dreaded that, maybe you didn't, maybe you could afford it. but there was no, problem with just calling the 900 number and getting started and just thinking about the consequences later. Well, in the early 90s, the FTC finally put an end to that and basically made it so the 900 numbers kind of had to disclose at the very beginning of the conversations, whoever you were calling, how much you were actually paying, which, caused people to maybe rethink their decision about calling said number. The second nail in the coffin really had to do with the 1992 Supreme Court ruling that adult content couldn't be expressed through 900 platforms anymore. Now, that didn't mean the end of the adult content. They switched to 800 numbers, where then you had to supply your credit card. But let's face it, the 900 adult entertainment industry was a pretty big slice of the 900 number business. And the final nail in the coffin is just that it's unnecessary. I mean, with the advent of the internet and then the advent of the smartphone and the spread of the internet and this information highway, who really needs a 900 number anymore to basically get whatever you're looking for? But it actually stuck on a lot longer than most people think. AT&T didn't drop the 900 service until 2002, and Verizon kept the 900 number all the way up to 2012. That's quite a lot of years to have an overlap between the success of the internet and the death of the 900 number. Before we go, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and share it on your favorite social media. Also, if you want to support the channel, there's a couple ways to do that, through Venmo and also through our Patreon supporters. Both of those links will be in the description box below. I want to thank you. I'm Ian C. You've been watching Retro Serial. Did you call any of those 900 numbers? I want to know which ones you called. Please let me know. And thank you very much for watching this episode, and we will see you all again real soon.
What makes people all over America break down and cry like this? Call 1-900-9099-CRY and hear it for yourself. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. If you're under 18, ask your parents before you call. 1-900-9099-CRY.